caladium. It's last year's caladium. And another one that just sprouted. And elephant ear. And the baby elephant ears from last year. So they're coming back. And oh my gosh, does this shelf need to be watered right now? I have 2 more tomatoes to pot up. I started with my purple slicer. It has flowers. It has flowers on it. They're in these small pots. When I got back from shopping yesterday, they were fried and struggling in their tiny little pots. I put them underneath the shelf for the night after I watered them in. They look great after one day. I'm trying not to save more than I actually need. The neighbors seem to be pretty self-sufficient, so I don't. If I let them hang around, then I have to take care of them, and I have a lot. I would rather spend my time on perennials. I am weeks away from my last frost date. Somewhere between 3 and 5 weeks before safe planting. I have flowers on my wintered pepper. I have hand pollinated. This flower's about done, but I pollinated it yesterday, so I might get a pepper. I didn't expect flowers so soon because it hardly has any foliage on it. Peppers I potted up a while ago. And they look so much healthier than my peppers last year. Peppers I potted up yesterday look a little stunted. So my yellow ones, I have many and they look really healthy. And these are red and orange. Not as healthy, not as many. But I can always buy a couple things here and there to supplement. I just don't have to buy everything. And I'm going to have a lot of yellow peppers, and they're my favorite. So I have 2 red delicious tomatoes, 1 red heirloom, a purple heirloom, and a yellow heirloom. 2 Romas. So 3 big slicers and 4 that I can use for canning and salsa and whatnot. So that's enough, I think, for me. If it's not, then next year I'll do more, but I think that's enough. I am not keeping the ones that are extra. Look at this thing. This thing has exploded. I bought this for my sister, who I love to buy stuff for when I can. I don't see her. But when I do, I sure would love to give her a flower. Is that a canna lily? Calla lily. Calla lily. So she gave it back to me after it was done blooming, because she knows I can get a lot of things to rebloom. But it took 3 years. Bobby, if you're listening, your flower's blooming if you want to come and pick it up. Soon. Not today, but soon. It will bloom. It looks fantastic. So she's down at the bottom because she takes up so much room. Oh, what do I have here? More peppers. These have been potted a while ago. Do I see a tag on any of them? I need to put some tags out. Those came from a milk container. So the milk container was tagged. Poblano. It's a kind of mildly hot pepper. They were seeded on February 14th. I have some left that I'm getting ready to throw out because, like I said, my neighbors are pretty self-sufficient, or they're just not gardeners. So those have to go to waste because I don't need that many peppers. I did run out of peppers this year, so I'm going to try to freeze as many as I can with the bell peppers. I do still have banana peppers pickled in a jar, which I do try to eat on things. I just opened up a fresh jar for pizza. And this was a gift. Valentine's Day last year. It needs to color up. It needs to be outside. So this week was cold. That's my turmeric. My ginger is coming up. It's gonna be below, it's gonna be in the 20s on Tuesday, Wednesday morning, one of those mornings. So I really have to keep everything in for a while. Next week it'll warm back up and I can start putting some of this stuff out to harden off, but not in the ground unless maybe in the greenhouse. Planted onions in the greenhouse. Didn't mention corn. I do have pre-sprouted corn. Gonna have to pull those apart and separate some of the doubles. I double seeded so there would be enough. I need 16 to make my square. I have more than that, I believe, so I might make a bigger square or do another small spot close by. Don't know yet, but 16 was my goal. Pie pumpkins and gourds. I love gourds in the fall. Pie pumpkins also need to be separated and potted up. They went into a little bit of shock when I took the tops off, so I wanted them to get better before I transplanted them. I put some basil in water for the second time. I need to take off the bigger leaves. This is the first batch of basil that I sprouted and planted. I am, these are seeding already, and I don't want them to seed. It smells so good. Oh my goodness. And of course, lantana is doing wonderful. I'm going to plant that in front of the greenhouse. This is looking beautiful. It's on a heat mat underneath lights, so even when the weather's bad, they still get the warmth that they need for the roots to grow. The plants have woken up, and they get some light even on those cruddy days. My bird friends. Still have a bunch of milk jugs underneath my heat mat. I need to go through. I know that that's probably going to involve some more planting out. Verbascum, plural, 3. Pot them up, put them in the shade. Root systems are strong. They pulled apart without breaking. They're long. Got some new tags. The whole tray is poblano, so I just... So they're done. The pie pumpkins and the verbascum are potted. And I have these nice new trays. I'll put them in after they go through shock. Right now that's shady, but later the sun's gonna hit them. Maybe I could... I cleaned off this shelf. I'll put them under the shelf. Oh, look. Violas. They're not all looking great, but it's nice to have some. I left them in the milk jug too long. I get busy, as do all of us, I'm sure. Okay, got one more to do. But I don't think I'm going to do it right now. There's the verbascum. And that is the foxglove. It's another bigger verbascum back here. So when you do perennials from seed, it takes the next season to get a bloom. So although I had some nice lush leaves, I have not seen this flower bloom yet. This is the year. So the ones I plant this year, I won't see until, oh, come on, get up there. The ones I plant this year, I won't see until next year. But I have all these coming up. And I love that because I start something new every year. So although the thing I start new this year, I won't see. There's another one. Okay, so I have a bunch of them now. I seen some in a different garden too. So this year I get to see last year's perennials bloom. So there's always something. Although it's not whatever I'm starting this year. I started painted daisies, which is something I have grown and lost. Like my garden lost all of them. Bunny pressure? I think bunnies really like them. But I restarted them. And the other thing that I had that I don't have anymore is the lupine. Oh, not the lupine. Oh, don't remember, another perennial. But I started it this year. It won't show any flowers till next year if the bunnies don't eat them. So I'm not going to put them in the ground. I'm going to put them in pots. The bunnies and the mice don't seem to eat my pots. They eat the things that are in the ground. There's the verbascum. And that is the foxglove. It's another bigger verbascum back here.